Marhaban bikum. I'm Sam Ross with Qasid Online. Today we're going to be discussing non-human plural agreement, which occurs in Chapter 2 of Book 1 of Al-Kitaab. Let's get started with an example where we have this phenomenon. Consider, for example, the sentence which occurs in Chapter 1, Walidi Misri ya'mal fil al-Muttahida. Maha says this. It means my father is Egyptian. He works in the United Nations, somewhere in New York City, that big rectangular building. The important point here is that is the plural of ummah, meaning nation, and muttahida means united. The thing is, though, notice that is a plural word, I'll put a P here, and muttahida is a singular word. And one of the rules we took of the adjective, that it must match in number. So why isn't a singular word describing a plural word? That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's the topic of our discussion for today. Hopefully by the end, it'll make total sense. So let's get started with a discussion of gender. Different types of gender in the Arabic language, and the English language as well. Maybe any language for that matter. We have natural gender and grammatical gender. In English, we don't really have grammatical gender. We do have natural gender. Let's look at a few examples in each. First, in Arabic, the word walid, meaning father, and khala, meaning the sister of your mother, they're both naturally feminine. They're both really feminine. In what sense? Well, they're part of a pair. There's a male for the female. Your father presumably has a wife. Your mother's sister maybe has a husband. They could have children if they wanted. They're really feminine. Contrast that. Let's take a look here. Under grammatical gender, in Arabic, can I get it? There we go. The word nahar is masculine. The daytime is masculine. What's manly about the day? I don't know. Jami'ah. What's feminine about a jamia, about a university? I don't know either. I mean, maybe you could argue now, like statistics say that the majority of students in universities are women, but that word came around a long time before that happened. Who knows? Let's keep going. Notice in English, I have sort of some instances of natural gender. I have the pronouns like he and she, and I have a couple words that happen to be from French usually, from the French occupation, William the Conqueror and all that. Words like actor and actress. You can think of comparable words, host and hostess, steward and stewardess, etc. What about grammatical gender? This is kind of a funny case. I don't know of any instances in English. Here's one from French. This is my particular favorite. La soupe and le potage. They mean the same thing. They're both soup. Why did the French make the first one feminine and the second one masculine? I have no idea. It's the same thing. But nonetheless, in the French language, which you have to treat the first one as feminine and the second as masculine. And that's just the way it goes. All right. Let's take a look. Let's keep going. Non-human plural agreement. The important lesson for today, the one rule it all comes down to is this statement. Non-human plural in Arabic is treated as singular feminine. Let's say that again. Non-human plural equals singular feminine. How do we apply that? Here's a sentence. Al-tulab jadidun. The students are new. Do we apply it here? We don't apply it here because, of course, tulab are humans. And that's not an issue then. We don't have to worry about that rule. But this case we do. As-sayyarat. The cars are new. In this case I have non-human plural. Cars are not people, and I have more than one of them. I'm going to treat them as if they were a singular feminine object. And one of the rules of the mubtada and the khabar, in the nominal sentence, the subject and the predicate, is they have to match in number and they have to match in gender. So sayyarat is feminine, and so is jadida. Fine, no problem. And we treat sayyarat as feminine because of this rule. No problem there. What about in terms of number? You would expect, I should say, as-sayyarat jadidat, because it's a match in number, that's part of the rule. But because sayyarat is a non-human plural, we pretend like it's singular feminine, and so we only have to match it to a singular feminine, hence the writing of jadida, not jadidat. Let's look at two more examples. Al-tulab al-jadidun min Amrika. The new students are from America. Do we have to worry about it? No. Tulab are people, not an issue. But this sentence, as-sayyarat al-jadida min Amrika, we do have to think about it. In this case, I'm matching not because of mubtada and khabar, not because of subject and predicate, but because of ism and sifa, a noun and the adjective describing it. They also have to match in number and gender. Same thing happened down here as happened right here. Sayyarat, pretend that it's singular feminine, so the adjective is both singular and feminine. Let's conclude with three final examples from Al-Kitaab. The first one says, Harvard wa Brown wa Princeton, Jami'at Amrikiya Qadima. Harvard, Brown, and Princeton are old American universities. And that's certainly true. Harvard founded in 1636, Brown 1764, Princeton, 1746. That's pretty old, at least for American standards. Anyways, jami'at is a non-human plural. So when I make adjectives for it, they all have to be singular feminine. Let's check them out. Amrikiya is not amrikiyat. And qadima is not qadimat. Both of them have ta marbutas. Great example. Let's do another one. هذه ترجمات جميلة. These are beautiful translations. Notice here, tarjamat is a non-human plural. The sifa, the adjective therefore, should be singular feminine. And there she is. Jamila, not jamilat. Feminine is jamila, not jamil. That's the end of our discussion of the non-human plural. Thanks for joining us.